Hello Business 201. This video demonstrates a solution to exercise 329, which deals with vertical analysis of information on income statements. In this case, we are examining the income statements of the Dell Computer Corporation and the Hewlett-Packard Corporation, two manufacturers of computer systems. As you can see from the net sales, Hewlett-Packard is just about twice the size of Dell Computer. But we don't know the composition of the expenses, and so to eliminate the ant and elephant syndrome that we talked about during class, we convert dollar amounts on income statements to percentage values. Let's just do a little bit of work first by calculating the net income. We can do that by adding the column for Dell Computer. You notice that sales are entered in as positive amounts and the expenses, cost of goods sold, and operating expenses are entered as negative amounts. So if we would just add the column of financial values, we would come to the operating income. To start a formula in Excel, begin the formula with an equal sign and then select one of the formulas that pretty much describe themselves. In this case, it would be sum. Point to the first value that you would like to add, click and hold the left mouse button, notice the dancing ants around the values that are going to be included, and then draw the cursor downward over the values that you want to be part of the sum. So in this case, in cell B5, we will add the values that are in cell B2 through B4. Once we do that, we could finish the right parentheses and click Enter to execute the formula. There you have it. The Dell Computer income is $4.4 billion. And we can do the same procedure for Hewlett-Packard. Begin a formula with an equal sign, type the word sum, left parentheses, move to the first value in the sum, click and hold the left mouse button, and drag the cursor down over the values that you want to add. Release the left mouse button, complete the right parentheses, and push Enter to execute the formula. There you see Hewlett-Packard earning about $18.9 billion. Now, we want to calculate percentage values in a horizontal analysis. To do that, we will allow sales to be the 100% value, and every value on the income statement will be expressed as a percent of sales. Again, we are going to use formulas. Go to where you would like the percentage to appear, push the equal sign to start a formula, point to sales, and then in this case we are going to divide by sales. And now what we will do for this last value is to anchor it so that the formula always refers to cell C2 by pushing the F4 key. Notice the dollar signs around the column indicator B and the row indicator 2, signifying that any time the computer uses a formula, it always goes to cell B2. Push Enter to execute the formula. You see that it comes up with a value 1. Let's just change that to percent by going to the home name on the ribbon and clicking under number the percent format. And there you have percents. In this case, we want to round to 1 decimal place, so let's extend the decimal places 1 digit to the left. Now, what we can do is to copy that formula to all the remaining cells. Here is a quick way to copy. Notice the open plus as the cursor. If I would move that cursor to the green box on the bottom right-hand side of a formula, watch what happens to its shape. It changes to a closed plus. That's a signal that the computer is ready to copy. Click and hold the left mouse button and drag the formula over the cells to which you want to copy the formula to. When you release the cell or release the left mouse button, the formula will copy. And there you have the net result. For every dollar of sales, 77.7 cents is tied up in cost of goods sold, 15.1 cents is tied up in operating expenses, and for every dollar of sales, Dell earns 7.1 cents. And what we can do is just to make this a little bit cleaner by underlining the 15.1%. Let's do the same thing with Hewlett-Packard. Begin a formula with an equal sign, point to sales, click the slash to divide, and point to sales again, and then push the F4 key to anchor the row and column reference. Push enter to complete the formula. Reformat that value to percentages by clicking the % button, and extending the number of decimal places to 1 by clicking the increase decimal icon. Copy the formula by moving the cursor to the bottom right-hand side of the formula box. Click and hold the left mouse button and drag the formula over the area that you want to copy to. Releasing the left mouse button computes the formula. And let's underline the operating expenses. So this says that Hewlett-Packard, for every dollar of sales, earns 15.7% or 15.7 cents in income. Clearly, even though Hewlett-Packard is a larger company, its profit margins are very much higher, double that of Dell Computer. That's it for vertical analysis. Try this spreadsheet yourself, print it, and submit it to class. Enjoy.